we are not a charitable society. We give to God and we give to temples, you know, because we want something back. But we just do not, all the masses of people in penury that Anuji spoke about, how many of us as people actually help them? And certainly as corporates, we really don't. With that, I'm going to sort of just refer to my papers and my notes and get on to my speech. And I will end by sharing with you some examples of work that we've done, because my talk is focused on the communicating part. And communication is at the end of the day the heart of making anything happen. Most of you must have watched President Barack Obama deliver his inaugural address 2 nights ago. How many of you caught that live or otherwise? Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. It was a very rhetorical address, but among the many things that he said in the passion with which he spoke, I was really struck several times by his reference to responsibility. He spoke about the responsibility of today's citizens to the citizens of the future of the planet. He spoke of the responsibility of his country to the rest of the world, of his government to the people of the United States, and of leaders everywhere to the led. That was him. I don't know if you caught another speech, much less dramatic, but definitely equally sincere, if not more so, of our own Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, on Saturday, when he addressed the Economic Times Business Leaders Awards, the 400 top CEOs who were present in the room. And it was telecast live, so some of you may have caught it or not on Times Now. But he called out, in no uncertain terms, to the corporate leaders of our country to conduct their business with integrity and not to betray, and I think this is the most important part, not to betray the trust that has been posed on them and on us by all the stakeholders of the corporate world. And by that he meant employees, shareholders, customers, the community and society at large. And that was another call from another person to take heart, to be good, and to act responsibly. I think doing good while doing well was the original theme of this conclave when Jerry was putting it together. But today, when everyone is not nearly doing as well as they would like, doing good, playing fair, and being kind, doing good, playing fair, and being kind have taken on a real and felt importance all across the corporate world. I see that in the clients that I engage with every day, and other agencies. I work with all the television networks, all the print publishers. I can see that there is a real feeling among people that they need to step up and be good, do good. And I like that. I believe adversity, we're not really yet in a very, very bad state, we're okay, but we're still facing adversity, can bring out either the best or the worst in humanity, depending on how we choose to respond to it. And so far, I feel a little hopeful, Anuji, compared to your speech, that we are responding well. We're not responding badly, we're not doing the bad things. And which is all to the good, because so far, paying lip service to CSR has long been a characteristic of Indian industry. CSR is really meaningless in many of the firms that we work with. There are genuine players, of course, but these, and I'm sure Thermax is, but these are few and far between. For most companies and individuals, the easiest response to a request for help from our millions of NGOs in this country is just to loosen one purse string and write a quick tax-deductible check. And then you just don't bother about it. You don't know where it's going, what's happening, and you're not really empathizing or feeling with the cause. However, social causes, they need time, they need effort, they need attitude, and they need commitment much more than they need funds. Uh, I am also an animal activist, as some of you may know, and the animal welfare movement in this country is the most unpopular. Many people say, why bother with animals? We've got so many people who need help, and I agree with that. But, it is such an unpopular cause that you have to really be committed, because those animals cannot communicate. And the heart of my presentation talk is about communication. To communicate with the people you benefit, or the people you wish to get benefiting others. And animals cannot communicate. And that's the most difficult challenge. So unless people like you and me feel the pain and the deprivation, and we genuinely not just sympathize with those we reach out to benefit, but we empathize with what they're going through. So we don't just make handouts, but we actually commit our time and our effort to make a real difference. It won't happen. Unfortunately for us, let's see the good in the bad times, because it's at times like this when people at all levels, including a gentleman now sitting in a jail cell in Hyderabad, have begun to feel the pinch. And therefore it's getting difficult to loosen the purse strings for charity. And therefore I'm hoping that people will now begin to open their heartstrings and their mind strings and work in ways that could lead to real social change. More people ran in the Mumbai Marathon this Sunday than ever before. Right, Jim? So this leads me to the role of communication in furthering the practice of humane capitalism. Like Rob said, we live in an age of communication. The modes of relaying messages from one to many have never been so quick, so easy, or so cheap. Also free. I mean, the social networking sites are free. They don't have the kind of reach in India that they have in the West, but they do have reach among the influential people. You all know, I mean, we're all citizens of this city. More than 1 lakh people gathered outside the Gateway of India on 26/12 without any kind of paid advertising. It was just word of mouth and word of mouse through all the networking sites, including Twitter and so on, and mostly Facebook. Well, as you know, Herod sang in Jesus Christ Superstar to Christ that if you'd come today, you would have reached a whole nation. But that song was written 30 years ago, and if Christ had come today, he would have reached the whole world through social networking sites. And early estimates suggest that Obama's address, day before yesterday, was watched live by more than 300 million people around the world. The Olympics closing ceremony was watched by 90 million. And he had so many messages in there, which sort of should touch all of our hearts in the corporate world. So I would say that to all the NGOs who approach corporates in some CSR initiative or the other and try to convince them, that's the way it's working at the moment at such an unprofessional level. They approach us for funds. It's just not necessary anymore. You can reach out and spread your message just free. You use the community-driven media and it can happen. Money is really not the issue today. I want to give you an example again in our own local one. We had a digital marketing roundtable last week under the aegis of the IMI, and the marketing head of the Taj addressed us all. There were about 80 advertisers in the room, and she described the impact of the groundswell of citizen-driven communication on the Taj brand post the attacks. The Taj has always been seen as a hospitable and efficient brand. That's never been in doubt. But in all the communication that's been taking place on the networking side, people ignored the inadequate security at the hotel, which is actually a fact, and a negative about the Taj. People didn't even touch on that or talk about that. But they dwelt instead on the heroism of the employees, which is a major positive, and the kind of rub-off that's had on the brand. Now, I dare say that employees of any hotel